Mr. Chairman, I am Jeannie Lucky, delegate from the great state of Mississippi. I move the temporary roll of delegates and alternate delegates as presented to this committee be certified for approval by the full 37E National Convention as the permanent roll of the 2020 Republican National Convention.
The delegate from Mississippi has made the motion to certify the permanent roll. Is there a second?
I'm Jim Dickey from the state of Ohio, Mr. Chairman, and
It's now been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, the chair will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted, and the Convention Committee on Credentials has adopted its report. The committee may be seated. Without objection, the committee is adjourned, and I will return the gavel to Chairwoman McDaniel.
Thank you, Doyle. Is there a motion to adopt the report of the Convention Committee on Credentials?
Madam Chair, I move that we adopt the report of the Committee on Credentials.
The motion has been made to adopt the report on the Committee on Credentials. Is there a second?
Howard, delegate from Georgia, and I second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, the chair will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The temporary roll is now the permanent roll of delegates and alternate delegates of the 2020 Republican National Convention. If there is no objection, staff will be allowed to make technical corrections to the permanent roll as needed. The chair hears no objection, and it is so ordered. Pursuant to Rule 41F of the Rule 37E National Convention Procedures, the chairman of the Republican National Committee shall select the officers of the Rule 37E Convention, which will be voted on and adopted by the Rule 37E Convention. The list of Rule 37E Convention officers is included in the order of business, and you have a copy in front of you. The chair now recognizes the delegate from Texas for the purpose of making a motion.
Madam Chairman, I am Tony Ann DeShiel, delegate from Texas. I move to adopt the list of the Rule 37E Convention officers selected by the chairman of the Republican National Committee. Included on this list is the selection of the temporary chairman of the convention, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and the permanent chairman of the convention, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy.
The delegate from Texas has made the motion to adopt the list of the Rule 37E National Convention officers. Is there a second?
I am Ron Kaufman, delegate from Massachusetts, and I second the motion of the distinguished delegate from Texas.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, the chair will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. The temporary officers have been made permanent Rule 37E National Convention officers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce the Republican leader of the United States House of Representatives and permanent chairman of the convention, Kevin McCarthy.
Thank you all very much. You're very kind. First of all, let's give a big round of applause for Ronna McDaniel. Isn't she doing an amazing job? You know, I want to give a little note to her because when I first took over as leader California and made it Republican. So it's good to be with so many friends. I thank you for your help. I got a lot of former colleagues in here. It's always great to see Kristi Noem, one of the greatest governors in the entire country here in South Dakota. So great to have you with us. Now let's move on to our next item on the order of business. Pursuant to Rule 41E of the Rule 37E, National Convention Procedures, the Convention Committee on the Rules and Order of Business will not convene during the Rules 37E convention proceedings. The only motion to amend the rules that will be deemed in order is a motion to make a technical correction to Rule 12 by removing the reference of the year 2018. The red line version of the technical correction is on the screen. Pursuant to Rule 37E, National Convention Procedures, the motion to adopt this technical correction shall not be subject to any amendment, and any motion to suspend the procedures in order to make any other rule amendment shall not be in order. Apart from this specific change made through a motion adopted pursuant to Rule 41E, we will adjourn today with the rules of the Republican Party in the same form as amended by the Republican National Committee on July 20th, 2018, as the official rules of the Republican Party. The rules will be considered adopted as of today. The rules of the Republican Party as adopted by the 2020 Republican National Convention, August 24th, 2020. The chair now recognizes the delegate from Washington for the purpose of making a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jeff Kent, delegate from Washington State. Under the emergency procedures set forth under Rule 37E, we will not be adopting an updated version of the rules of the Republican Party until the next convention in 2024. However, the Republican National Committee should retain the ability to update the rules as needed. Therefore, I move to strike the following clause from Rule 12. Quote, "No such amendment shall be adopted after September 30th, 2018, unquote," and replace it with, quote, "No such amendment shall be adopted after September 30th, 2 years prior to the year in which the next national convention is to be held."
The delegate from Washington has made the motion to adopt a technical correction to Rule 12, the rules of the Republican Party. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, my name is Peter Goldberg. I'm from the largest state in the Union, the great land of Alaska, and I second Mr. Kent's motion.
The motion has been made. The second. Is there any discussion? Hearing no further discussion, the chair will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted, and the technical correction to RNC Rule 12 has been adopted. The chair now recognizes the delegate from District of Columbia for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I am Jill Homan, delegate from the District of Columbia, and I offer the following resolution. Resolve that those elected as members of the Republican National Committee under the procedures of each state, American Samoa, the District of Columbia, Guam, Puerto Rico, and the Northern Mariana Islands, whose names have been submitted to the Secretary of the Convention, are hereby declared ratified to serve as members of the Republican National Committee from the adjournment of this Republican National Convention until the successor committee has been ratified by the next Republican National Convention. Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of the resolution.
The delegate from the District of Columbia has made the motion to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is John Fry. I'm a delegate from Connecticut, and I second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no discussion, the chair will call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying nay. The opinion of the chair is the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. I congratulate each of you on your election. The chair now recognizes the delegate. You can applaud that. That's all right. We can be excited. The chair now recognizes the delegate from Michigan for the purpose of offering a resolution.
Mr. Chairman, I'm Laura Cox, delegate from Michigan, and I offer the following resolution. Resolve that the Secretary of the Convention is hereby directed to prepare and publish for the Convention a full and complete report of its official proceedings under the direction of the Republican National Committee, and is authorized to make all necessary clerical and grammatical corrections and to make technical and conforming amendments as necessary in reports, motions, and resolutions considered by the Convention to reflect its actions. Mr. Chairman, I move the adoption of this resolution.
The delegate from Michigan has made the motion to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I am Andrew Hitt, delegate of Wisconsin, and I second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing no further discussion, I will call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay? In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for us to determine our nominee for the office of the Vice President of the United States. The chair states that in compliance with Rule 40B, the chair has been furnished with evidence that a plurality of delegates from each of 5 or more states severely support the candidate who will be presented for the nomination for the Vice President of the United States. The chair would like to remind delegates of the provision of Rule 40A, which provide in part that if there is only one candidate for nomination for Vice President of the United States who has demonstrated the support required by paragraph B of this rule, a motion to nominate for such office by acclamation shall be in order, and no calling of the roll with respect to such office shall be required. At this time, the chair states that he has been furnished with evidence that there is only one candidate for the nomination for the office of the Vice President of the United States who has demonstrated the support required under Rule 40B of the Rules of the Convention. And finally, pursuant to Rule 37E, National Convention procedures nominating and seconding speeches will be limited to 3 minutes each. It has also been the custom at past conventions to permit the chair to recognize non-delegates for the purpose of making nominations and seconding speeches. The chair now recognizes Governor Scott Walker from the state of Wisconsin for the purpose of nominating. Please give him a warm applause and welcome.
Thanks. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, it is my honor to nominate our friend, Michael R. Pence, to serve as the Republican Party's 2020 candidate for Vice President of these United States of America.
Delegates and alternates, pursuant to Rule 40A, a motion to nominate by acclamation is in order. The chair now recognizes Kyle Humphrey from the delegate from Indiana.
Mr. Chairman, I move that Vice President Michael R. Pence from the great state of Indiana be nominated by acclamation by this Republican National Convention as its candidate for the office of Vice President of the United States of America.
The motion to nominate Michael R. Pence by acclamation has been made by the delegate from Indiana. Is there a second?
Mr. Chairman, I am Anne Hathaway, delegate from Indiana, and I second the motion.
The motion has been made and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? And hearing no one opposed, the ayes have it. Ladies and gentlemen, delegates and guests, I am proud to announce the Vice President, Michael R. Pence, has the unanimous support of this convention to be the Republican Party's nominee for the office of Vice President of the United States of America. Without objection, I will turn things back to this amazing chairwoman, Ronna McDaniel. Please join me in welcoming her back on stage.
Thank you, Leader McCarthy, and how exciting that we have nominated Mike Pence once again to be the Vice President of the United States of America. Delegates, this is a historic moment as we make official the nomination of Donald Trump and Mike Pence as our nominees for President and Vice President of the United States. Today's events reflect the unified support the Trump-Pence ticket has from Republicans along with independents and discerning Democrats all across America. Our party is unified, our supporters are energized, and now we will go forward confident in our cause of re-electing President Trump and Vice President Pence in 70 days from now. Now I know that I am not alone when I say that the Democrats' convention last week was hard to watch. I know we all ate this morning, but you know. It was depressing, doom and gloom, night after night. It was short on substance, but it was a masterpiece in fiction about President Trump's record and what he has accomplished for the American people. Democrats were telling the truth about one thing, though. We are at a crossroads as a nation. I never thought I would agree with Hillary Clinton, but she is right about one thing. We have to vote like our lives and our country depend on it this November. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are running on the most radical, socialist, extreme, far-left ticket in American history. Policies that would have been unthinkable a decade ago, banning fossil fuels, eliminating private health insurance, taxpayer-funded health care for people who come here illegally, and defunding the police are now mainstream in the Democrat Party. Their argument for Joe Biden boiled down to the fact that they think he's a nice guy. Well, let me tell you, raising taxes on 82% of the American people is not nice. Eliminating 10 million good-paying oil and gas jobs and raising gas and heating prices on American families is not nice. Policies that force jobs to flee our country or allow abortion up until the point of birth are not nice. The truth is there's only one person who has empathized with everyday Americans and actually been fighting for them every single day over the past 4 years, and that is President Donald J. Trump. Over the next 4 days, President Trump and Republicans are going to talk about all that we have achieved the past 4 years and cast an aspirational, forward-looking vision about what we can achieve in the next 4. Our convention is going to feature hardworking, everyday Americans, not Hollywood celebrities, who are going to help tell the great American story and how President Trump's policies have made their lives better. Policies like cutting taxes and rolling back job-killing regulations, creating over 9,000 opportunity zones in all 50 states, and fighting for school choice, rebuilding the military, and securing our southern border, including nearly 300 miles of border wall. Yes, he is building that wall. Negotiating freer, fairer trade deals like the USMCA, appointing constitutional conservatives to the federal bench, over 200 of them, including Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh, ushering in a new era of American energy independence and taking out terrorists like al-Baghdadi and General Soleimani. and brokering a landmark peace agreement between Israel and the United Arab Emirates. Fellow Republicans, as we reflect on the crossroads we are at this November, we can look to the words of our first Republican president, Abraham Lincoln, for guidance. Lincoln cautioned that his countrymen that if America was to suffer the familiar fate of so many nations and empires throughout history, the cause of our downfall would not come from abroad, but from within. Lincoln wrote, "If destruction be our lot, we ourselves must be its author." He warned of the increasing disregard for law, substituting wild passions in place of sober judgment, and the danger posed by savage mobs. Abraham Lincoln could just as easily be writing these words today. We see the chaos playing out in places like Portland, Seattle, Chicago, New York, and other Democrat-run cities across the country. We see suppression of free speech, mob rule instead of the rule of law, elected officials putting politics ahead of public safety. These images are just a preview of what would happen nationwide if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris win this election. It does not have to be that way. Donald Trump will always stand for the rule of law. Donald Trump will defend our fundamental freedoms, preserve our American way of life, and work day and night to build our economy back to the historic levels of growth. He has been doing all that and more for the past 4 years, and he will do it as president in the next 4 when the American people reelect him to a second term. Thank you all. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Let's win November 3rd. Let's reelect President Trump. Let's keep the Senate, and let's take back the House. So, some of you may have figured out we may be having some special guests come today. You know, just a few, I don't know. So at this time, the chair would ask that without objection, the convention will stand in recess until the call of the chair. The chair hears no objection, and the convention is in recess until the call of the chair. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have recessed but will return shortly. Please remain nearby until we resume.
Thank you so much.